Emma arrived at her brother Mark's house 30 minutes early, holding a cold bowl of potato salad and a small smile she had practiced in the car. Today is good news, she told herself. Today they will be happy for me. The ranch-style home sat at the end of a quiet cul-de-sac with a perfect lawn and wide windows. She set the bowl on the kitchen counter and reached for the sliding door. Voices drifted in from the backyard. Emma should be here soon, Mark said. His tone made her pause. Great, Lisa answered, dripping sarcasm. I can't wait to hear about her glamorous new job. Laughter followed, Aunt Ruth, Uncle Tom, Cousin Kevin, others. Mark added, Director of Marketing at some boutique hotel group. She'll want applause. More laughter. Lisa said lightly, it would be nice if she had a little accident and didn't show. The group burst into real loud laughter. Emma's hand slipped from the door handle. She stood still, heart thudding. Just jokes, someone said. She always thinks she's special, Ruth added. Emma stepped back, picked up her purse and walked out the front door as quietly as a shadow. On the sidewalk 2 blocks away, she leaned against a tree and breathed through the burn behind her eyes. Her phone buzzed. A text from Mark. Where are you? Thought you were coming early. She stared at the screen, swallowed and said aloud, no more begging. Then with steady fingers she scrolled to Zoe. Hey, Zoe answered on the second ring. Aren't you supposed to be flipping burgers with your charming relatives? I need your help, Emma said. Her voice surprised her. It was calm. And I need you to trust me. 20 minutes later they sat in a corner booth at a coffee shop 3 miles from Mark's house. Emma told her everything. The laughter, the accident joke, the way her name had sounded like trash in their mouths. Zoe's face hardened. I'll drive over there and say it to their faces. No, Emma said. I want them to feel what they wished for without anyone getting hurt. I want them to feel fear even for 1 hour and ask themselves why. Zoe listened, arms folded, then nodded slowly. What do you need? Emma slid a napkin across the table like a plan. Call Lisa in 20 minutes. Block your number. Say you're Nurse Lauren from Phoenix General. Tell her I'm in critical condition after a crash on I-10. Be firm. No details. Tell them to come now. Zoe practiced the script, shifting her tone from warm to professional. Phoenix General emergency. This is Nurse Lauren. Emma corrected tiny phrases, trimmed extras, kept it simple. Okay, Zoe said, checking the time. You're sure? Emma's jaw tightened. They wished for an accident. Let them taste it for 40 minutes. Zoe exhaled. All right. We do this clean. We do it once. At 5:10 p.m., Zoe placed the call on speaker. Hello, is this Lisa? This is Nurse Lauren from Phoenix General Emergency Department. Your sister, Emma, was brought in 40 minutes ago after a serious motor vehicle accident on I-10. Her condition is critical. We need family here as soon as possible. Ask for Trauma Bay 3. A beat of silence. A small gasp. Yes, ma'am. Please hurry. Zoe ended the call and looked up. She believed it. They drove to a parking garage across from the hospital and parked on level 3 with a clear view of the automatic doors. Emma lifted a pair of hiking binoculars from her tote. You keep binoculars in your car? Zoe asked. I like birds, Emma said, eyes on the entrance. At 5:25 p.m., Emma's phone lit up. Mark calling. She declined. Lisa calling. Declined. Text poured in. Where are you? The hospital called. Please answer. This isn't funny. Emma read them aloud, voice flat. Aunt Ruth says I'm cruel if this is a prank. Zoe snorted. Interesting choice of words. At 5:40 p.m. Mark's SUV screeched to the curb. He ran inside, Lisa on his heels, followed by Kevin, Ruth, Tom and 2 cousins. Now we wait, Emma said, setting a timer for 20 minutes. When it chimed, her phone rang again. She answered and tapped speaker. Emma. Mark's voice shook. The hospital has no record of you. What is going on? Emma watched the bright doors slide open and close. I'm fine, she said evenly. I've been watching you all run. You did this? Mark asked, breathless anger leaking through the line. You made us think you were dying. I heard you, Emma said. I was at your house at 4:25. I heard everyone laughing. I heard Lisa say it would be nice if I had an accident. I heard Aunt Ruth call me delusional. I heard you say I wanted applause. Silence held for a long second. Then the shuffle of hands on a phone. Lisa's voice cut in sharp. It was a joke, Emma. Hyperbole. You always take things too seriously. A joke is a balloon, Emma said. What you did was a knife. You're being dramatic, Lisa snapped. You made everyone panic. Good, Emma said. For 40 minutes you remembered I am human. Voices crowded the line. Kevin muttering about overreaction, Ruth calling the stunt sick, Tom asking if they should involve the police. Emma stayed calm. Here is what's true. You wanted me gone. You wanted quiet without me. Now you know what quiet feels like. Mark returned to the line, lower now. We were wrong to joke like that. But making us think you were hurt, Emma, that's cruel. So is wishing me dead, she said. Pick your lesson. Another silence. Traffic hummed below the garage. A siren wailed somewhere far off. Emma pressed her palm to the cool window and closed her eyes. I won't argue with a crowd, she said. Tell them this, I heard you. I believed you. And I'm changing what I accept. Emma, Mark said steadier. Please. Come back to the house. We'll talk. No, she answered. I came with good news. I wanted to celebrate with my family. I earned director of marketing at Suncrest Hotels. 6 properties, a real budget, a real team. I thought maybe you'd be proud. Congratulations, Lisa said, flat as paper. Happy now? Emma shook her head even though they couldn't see her. You still don't get it. This isn't about a title. It's about basic respect. Family doesn't pray for convenient accidents. Ruth tried again. We didn't pray for anything. We were teasing. You were teaching, Emma said softly. Teaching each other that I don't matter. Mark's voice dropped to something almost honest. What do you want? Emma looked at Zoe, who lifted a shoulder. Your call. I want distance, Emma said. No group chats. No drop-ins. If anyone has something to say, they say it to me and they say it with care. You want to talk? Text me for a time. If I say no, you accept the no. That's extreme, Lisa said. That's a boundary, Emma replied. Mark, hang up now. Take everyone home. Think about the words you use when you say my name. Mark's breath caught. Are you safe? He asked finally. Yes, Emma said. Safer than I've ever been. She tapped end, powered the phone down and let her head touch the headrest. Zoe watched the emergency doors below. You sure? She asked. Emma nodded. For the first time in years. They stayed in the garage a while longer, watching the glass doors open and close like a slow heartbeat. Emma's phone, now off, lay face down in the cup holder. Zoe drummed her fingers on the steering wheel. They'll figure it out soon, she said. They'll ask the desk again. They'll check other bays. Emma nodded. Then they'll call everyone they know, looking for proof I'm lying instead of asking why they laughed. Down below, Mark came out first, phone to his ear, shoulders tight. Lisa followed, rubbing her eyes. Aunt Ruth pointed toward the street as if the answer might be parked there. Do you want to leave before they look up? Zoe asked. Not yet, Emma said. I want to see them walk back to their cars. I want to remember that I am not the problem they say I am. When the group finally spilled back onto the curb, angry, confused, talking over one another, Emma let herself breathe. All right, she said. That's enough. They drove away in silence for a few blocks. Then Zoe spoke. You did what you came to do. No gloating. No scene. Just a lesson. Emma looked out at the warm Phoenix sky. I'm done trying to be invited, she said. From now on, I invite myself into my own life. Morning light slid across Emma's kitchen table as her phone powered on and exploded with notifications. Missed calls stacked like bricks. Texts rolled in. Anger, panic, guilt, advice. She scrolled, face unreadable, then placed the phone upside down again. Work, she told herself. Focus on work. At Suncrest Hotels, she straightened a navy blazer, took a breath, and carried her deck into the conference room. Good morning, she said to a half circle of leaders. The CEO, Grace, motioned for her to begin. Emma walked them through her plan. A new brand film, a desert at dusk photo story, partnerships with 3 travel creators, a clean retargeting ladder. She spoke plainly, showed numbers, answered questions. When she finished, the room was quiet in a good way. Grace smiled. Approved. All of it. Emma blinked. All of it. All of it. Grace repeated. You've got the budget and the runway. Excellent work. In the hall, Emma exhaled, a small laugh breaking free. Her assistant Jake popped his head out of his cubicle. They loved it. They did, she said. Book the creative calls and hold a cross team for Friday. On it, Jake said, thumbs flying over his keyboard. For the first time in a long time, the word valuable didn't feel like a wish. Felt like a fact. At 1:05 p.m. Jake hovered in her doorway. There's a man here to see you. Says he's your brother. Emma's good mood narrowed to a line. Mark. Jake nodded. No appointment. He looks determined. Emma checked the clock. 5 minutes, she said. Then send him in. Mark stepped into the office and took everything in. The window view, the awards, the neat stack of briefs. Nice place, he said, unsure if it was a compliment. Thank you, Emma replied. You have 5 minutes. He sat, elbows on his knees. Yesterday scared me, he began. I thought we had lost you. I know the hospital thing was a setup. I know that. But the fear was real. Emma folded her hands. So were the jokes. He flinched. You're right. He looked down at his clasped fingers. I came to say I'm sorry. Not sorry you hurt us. Sorry we said it. Sorry we've made you the punchline for years. Emma watched him. He swallowed. I can't fix yesterday. I can try to fix tomorrow. How? Emma asked softly. Because words are easy. What does change look like? Mark nodded as if he had rehearsed this part. It looks like me calling out Lisa and Aunt Ruth when they start. Looks like me not laughing. It looks like me admitting something I've never said out loud. He lifted his eyes to hers. I was jealous of you. Not the title. Your stamina. You kept showing up. I hid my insecurity by cutting you down. He exhaled. It became a habit. A bad one. Emma leaned back. Lisa says I'm dramatic. Ruth says I'm delusional. You say you're jealous. I hear a pattern. I am small only when you need me small. Mark nodded again. You're not small, he said. You never were. Silence settled. Phones buzzed faintly out in the hall. A cart rattled by. I need boundaries, Emma said at last. If this continues, I walk. No debate. No guilt. Spell them out, Mark said quickly. I'll follow them. You will defend me out loud, Emma said. You will not ask me to let it go to keep peace. If I say no to an invite, that's the whole answer. Someone makes a joke, you end it. Every time. Mark straightened. Done. One more thing, Emma added. We don't fix a family in a group chat. We start with a real conversation between you and me. One dinner. Neutral place. You listen more than you talk. Mark's mouth twitched, almost a smile. Name it. Saturday 7 p.m. Orchard House, she said. You book it. You pay. Not because of money, because this is your apology, not a favor to me. Agreed, he said at once. He stood, then hesitated. Thank you for giving me a door to walk through. Emma nodded once. Don't mistake a door for a revolving one, she said. If you spin, I'm gone. Understood, Mark said. He left with careful steps as if noise might break something fragile. Jake reappeared wide-eyed. Need me to block family numbers? No, Emma said, looking out at the bright city. I've got better tools now. She opened her notebook and wrote 3 words at the top of the page. Respect. Honesty. Time. Then she turned to her task list because her life, finally, was not waiting for permission. Saturday evening came faster than Emma expected. The desert sky burned orange as she pulled into the parking lot of the Orchard House. Inside, candles glowed on each table. Mark was already seated in a corner booth wearing a navy suit, something she hadn't seen since his wedding. He stood when she approached. You look nice, he said. You too, she replied, sitting opposite. After they ordered, the silence grew heavy until Emma broke it. You said you wanted to talk. So talk. Mark gripped his glass. I've spent this whole week thinking about why I treated you the way I did. I kept replaying that barbecue and hearing my own voice. It's ugly. Emma nodded. It was. He sighed. You didn't deserve that. Not from me, not from anyone. Mark hesitated, choosing his next words carefully. I think it started years ago. You were always so serious about everything. School, work, dreams. And I was the funny one, the easygoing brother. Making jokes about you became a habit. People laughed and I liked being the center of attention. Then Lisa followed my lead and Aunt Ruth joined in. It became our family's favorite sport. Mocking you. Emma stirred her drink slowly. You do realize I was never in on the joke, right? He nodded. I know that now. We convinced ourselves that you were too sensitive, that teasing made you stronger. But really it just made us cruel. Emma's voice softened but stayed firm. Every joke taught me to hate family gatherings. I'd go home wondering what was wrong with me. Mark lowered his eyes. Nothing was wrong with you, Emma. We were the problem. For a moment neither spoke. The server brought their meals and disappeared. Mark finally said, You know the truth? I was jealous. Emma blinked. Jealous? Of me? Yes, he said quietly. You kept trying even when we pushed you away. You built a life without help. You stayed kind. He looked ashamed. Meanwhile, I measured success by who laughed at my jokes. Emma's heart tightened. That's not success, Mark. That's loneliness with applause. He gave a weak laugh. Yeah. I see that now. She leaned back, studying him. You can't undo years of cruelty with one dinner. I'm not trying to, he said. I'm asking for a chance to start different. Different how? She asked. By showing up, Mark replied. By defending you when others don't. By listening instead of talking. By being your brother, not your critic. Emma looked skeptical. Lisa said the same thing once, then went right back to gossiping. Please, learning, he said carefully. She's been quiet since the barbecue. I think it scared her too. Emma raised an eyebrow. Scared her enough to stop laughing? Maybe not yet, he admitted. But she's thinking. We all are. Emma cut her food but didn't eat. Thinking is good, she said. Doing is better. Mark nodded. Then let me do. Give me time to prove it. By dessert, their tension had softened into something fragile but human. They talked about his kids, her job, little safe topics that didn't bruise. When the check came, Mark handed his card to the waiter without hesitation. You paid for enough emotional damage, he said lightly. Emma cracked the first genuine smile of the night. Outside, the air smelled of oranges and night rain. Mark turned to her before getting into his car. Are we okay? He asked. Emma thought for a moment. We're better, she said. Okay, takes time. He nodded. Then I'll wait. When he drove off, she stood there a moment under the streetlight, realizing that for the first time in years she didn't feel small. She felt seen. The next morning, Emma brewed coffee and opened her phone. A text from Lisa waited at the top. Can I come by? She hesitated, then replied. Sure. An hour later, Lisa appeared at the door in sweatpants, eyes swollen. She looked nothing like the polished sister Emma remembered. I need to say something, Lisa began, stepping inside. You don't owe me your time, Emma warned. I know, Lisa said quickly, but I want to earn it. They sat on the couch. Lisa clasped her hands. When I joked about the accident, I didn't mean it. But the truth is, it came from a real place, resentment. You were everything I wanted to be. Strong, independent, unshakable. Instead of learning from you, I mocked you. Emma crossed her arms. You could have admired me instead of hating me. I know, Lisa said, tears sliding down her cheeks. When that fake hospital call came, I thought I'd never forgive myself. I imagined explaining to my kids that their aunt was gone because I couldn't keep my mouth shut. She shook her head. When I found out you were alive, my first reaction was anger. Then shame. Emma stayed quiet, letting her speak. I don't want to be that kind of sister anymore, Lisa said finally. I don't expect forgiveness overnight, but I want to change. Emma's voice was calm but firm. Then start by stopping others. When Aunt Ruth or anyone else mocks me, you say something. You don't laugh, you don't join in. Lisa nodded quickly. I promise. And, Emma continued, you stop comparing my life to yours. I'm not married. I don't have kids. That's not failure, it's my path. Lisa sniffed. I understand. I'll stop. Emma studied her face. You mean it now, she said. But I've seen sincerity fade fast in our family. Change means consistency. Lisa wiped her nose. Then I'll prove it. However long it takes. Emma's tone softened slightly. Then maybe someday we'll be sisters again, not just relatives. Lisa smiled through tears. That's all I want. When she left, Emma called Zoe. Guess who just showed up crying at my door? Zoe whistled. If I had popcorn I'd eat it. But really, how do you feel? Cautiously hopeful, Emma admitted. And that's new for me. The next few weeks tested everything. Mark began texting her small things. Photos of his kids, quick check-ins, links to articles. Lisa followed through too, shutting down Aunt Ruth's jabs during group chats. Word got back to Emma that Ruth had stopped being the family's loudest voice because no one laughed anymore. It was quiet, the kind of quiet Emma could finally live with. Thanksgiving arrived. Mark called. You're invited. No pressure. Emma decided to go but parked near the exit just in case. The first hour was tense, but Mark and Lisa stayed close, steering conversations away from dangerous ground. When Ruth made a dig about Emma's vegetarian dish, Lisa said warmly, Actually, I love it. You should try it. Even Uncle Tom just nodded. By the end of the night, Emma realized she was laughing. Not forced but real laughter. After dinner, Mark pulled her aside. Thank you for coming, he said. You didn't have to. You've all changed more than I expected, she replied honestly. You meant what you said. He smiled. You taught us something, Emma. Sometimes people need to see what losing you looks like before they remember your worth. Driving home, she replayed that line. Felt true. She had spent her whole life begging to be accepted when all she needed was to demand respect. She had learned that revenge didn't always mean hurting others. It could mean rebuilding yourself so they had no power left to break you. And that night, as she parked in front of her apartment, Emma whispered the words she finally believed. I was always enough. Moral lesson. Sometimes the only way to make people value you is to stop proving your worth and start protecting your peace. Standing up for yourself isn't cruelty, it's self-respect. Thanks you for watching, and please remember to tell us where you are watching from today. Hit the like button, comment and subscribe to this channel for more of this.